Hey everyone and welcome back. Are you ready to dive deep into a topic that's seriously reshaping the way we work?
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. So today we're tackling artificial intelligence in the art place. But not just the general stuff.
Right.
We're going way deeper thinking about how AI is totally flipping our understanding of what it even means to be an expert.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It really is. So get this, our deep dive today is taking us into an episode of this German legal podcast called Einfach Recht.
Okay.
It's hosted by this employment lawyer, Sandro Wulf.
Interesting.
Yeah. And in this episode, he gets into this really mind-blowing scenario. Imagine you're crushing it at work thanks to AI, right? You're getting amazing results.
Yeah.
But here's the catch. You can't actually explain how you got there.
Whoa.
Right? That's what we're unpacking today. And let me tell you, it gets pretty wild.
So this whole thing with AI tools like ChatGPT
GPT.
is kind of making this whole can't explain how you got there thing a reality for more and more people.
It's true. Okay, so for anyone who might not be totally up to speed, ChatGPT is this, super advanced AI chatbot that can basically write stuff that sounds just like a human wrote it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It really is. And Wolf, the lawyer for the podcast,
Right.
he calls this whole AI takeover a fundamental shift.
Yeah.
We're moving away from this idea of individual expertise. Where everything depended on your own knowledge and skills.
Right.
And now we're kind of heading into this world where AI is doing more and more of the heavy lifting.
And that sounds great in theory, right? Who doesn't want more efficiency?
Exactly. But there are some, potential downsides here.
Yeah, for sure.
Wolf calls it the knowledge gap. And it's basically this thing where people are using AI without really understanding the nuts and bolts of how it actually works.
How it's getting its results.
Yeah, exactly. And that can lead to some major problems.
Right.
Especially when you need to be able to explain those results.
Right. Exactly. Especially if there's no documentation or things are changing really fast.
Exactly. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
If you can't explain why you made a certain decision or how you reached a certain conclusion, that could be a huge problem, legally.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, Wolf actually talks about specific cases where this lack of understanding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's led to serious legal issues. There was this one case this lawyer lost because he couldn't really explain the strategy that the AI had suggested.
Whoa. That's intense.
Right. So, this isn't just some abstract concept.
No.
This is really happening.
This is real world stuff. That's a perfect example of why we need to be having these conversations.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just individuals who are affected.
Right.
This whole thing with the knowledge gap, it can impact entire companies, too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's this risk of what Wolf calls knowledge drain.
Okay, what's that?
It's basically as we rely more and more on AI,
Yeah.
the expertise, it starts to shift away from the employees and more towards the technology itself.
Oh, I see.
Right. So in the long run, this could have some pretty serious consequences for businesses.
That makes sense, but, Wolf doesn't seem like he's totally anti-AI.
No, not at all.
It sounds like he sees the potential, too.
Right. He's not saying AI is the bad guy here.
Okay.
He's just saying that the problem is we don't really have clear rules or guidelines for using it.
I mean, that's fair.
Right.
It's like any new tool, right?
Exactly.
You got to figure out how to use it responsibly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's the solution here? What can companies do to make sure they're using AI effectively but also ethically?
Yeah, that's the key question, right? Wolf actually offers some really practical solutions in the podcast.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So his first point is about customizing the AI.
Interesting.
He says, a lot of the standard AI tools out there, they produce pretty generic results.
Yeah.
It's one-size-fits-all kind of stuff, which isn't always the best, right?
Right.
So if companies really want high-quality results from AI, they need to invest in those more expensive, specialized models that can be trained on their specific data.
Okay, so it's like getting a custom-tailored AI instead of buying something off the rack.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that analogy. Okay, so custom AI check. What else?
All right, his second point is all about establishing clear internal guidelines.
Okay.
It's companies need to figure out who's allowed to use which AI tools.
Yeah.
And to what extent, right?
Right.
And most importantly, how can they make sure that vital expertise isn't getting lost in the process?
That's a good point.
We don't want to become so reliant on AI
Yeah.
that we forget how to do things ourselves.
Exactly. So guidelines, super important. What's number 3?
All right, this one's really important, I think.
Okay.
Wolf really emphasizes that AI, it's a tool.
Right.
It's not a replacement for human skills.
It's not meant to take our jobs.
No, exactly. It's meant to help us do our jobs better.
Right.
So companies should be investing in training and development to make sure that their employees stay experts in their fields.
Yeah.
And they can use AI to enhance their abilities, not replace them.
I love that. It's about empowerment, not replacement.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right, what's the last point?
This one is kind of like a fun, creative idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Wolf asks this really interesting question. What if AI models were given more cultural depth?
What does that even mean?
Well, like imagine legal briefs that are written with the style and flair of classic German literature.
Whoa, that'd be something else.
Right. Or think about marketing copy that's infused with the wit and wisdom of like famous philosophers.
So basically, instead of AI just spitting out these generic robotic texts,
Yeah.
we could actually have AI that creates content with personality.
Exactly. And that would create real added value because it wouldn't just be informative, it would also be engaging and maybe even entertaining.
I love that idea. Okay, so we've got custom AI, we've got guidelines, we've got training and development, and we've got this amazing idea of infusing AI with some cultural flair.
Right.
This is all great for companies and stuff, but like, what about me?
Right.
What can I do as an individual to make sure I'm not getting left behind in this whole AI revolution?
That's a great question. I think, first and foremost, don't be afraid of it. Like, embrace the change.
Yeah.
Learn about new technologies, try to understand how they work,
Yeah.
and think about how you can use them to your advantage.
It's about adapting, right?
Exactly. AI is here to stay,
It is.
so we might as well figure out how to make it work for us.
Absolutely. And hey, maybe one day AI will be writing my podcast scripts for me.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Right. But seriously, this deep dive has been super eye-opening.
It has.
I mean, AI is changing the game in so many ways.
It really is.
And it's up to us to make sure we're ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this
Yeah.
is that we need to find a way to balance the amazing efficiency of AI with the need for us humans to still understand and control our work.
It's a balancing act for sure.
It is. And that balancing act, it's going to define the future of a lot of industries.
No doubt about it. So I'm curious to hear from you, our listeners. What do you think are the most important skills to develop in this AI-driven world?
Hit us up on social media. Let's chat.
Awesome. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.